All right, let's talk about how we can rank your e-commerce stores, main keyword number 1 in Google, and drive more revenue. So I want to show you a keyword research method that has helped us rank thousands of keyword number 1 in Google and drive millions in revenue. This keyword method is called keyword clustering, and it is really good for finding a lot of keywords to optimize your pages for. It's really good for understanding what's the main keyword, what's the secondary keywords. It helps bring clarity around the site structure, what should you have in your menu, how do you build your internal links, everything like that becomes very easy. You also find a lot of new keywords at scale, and it's just a really good method if you have time to go through data and find it to organize site structure. And I'm going to show you this client. We worked with this client for only about 6 weeks or 7 weeks before they had ownership change and had to change. And we didn't build them any backlinks. All we did were worked on their site structure. We built out 230 new collection pages for them, added a little bit of content, and built up hub and spoke site structure. I'm going to show you if we take the date back to January 1st when we started working with them. In a matter of only a few weeks, they went from having the ranking looks like this. They're really only ranking for brands and products. This is good. We don't want to neglect that. That's also very important, but there are no categories ranking here. And if we bring this up for today, you can see that this site is now starting to rank for wedding, anniversary gifts, subcategories, 30th birthday ideas, gifts for brother, engagement present. You can see it goes from high level categories down to a lot of different long tail keywords, and the number of keywords that rank for went up for about like 400%. So without building links, without building a ton of blogs, but just building new category pages, we actually managed to bring all of these rankings in with the right site structure. Right, so once you then get all of the new pages that are linking to a single collection, that starts to rank because of all the supporting pages that you're building. You can then take that page and start to build links to it and start pushing it up the rankings, just like we did here with this keyword. We now rank number 1 for pissing machine. We have surrounded that page with a lot of long tail keywords, new pages that link into it, and then we build links to this page, and now we rank number 1 for a 10K per month keyword. And so it's a really good method for having both build links, but also first get the rankings going, so you can, you're not wasting link resources. You know when to build the links. And so I'm going to show you how we do it. Say that you want to rank for GolfNet. You want to take have a golf store and you have a category for golf nets and you want to start ranking for that. The step-by-step method is to find the seed keyword, which is just golf net, and then you find more seed keyword that are related to that seed keyword. For example, if you type golf net into Ahrefs, you're just going to get phrase mats, golf nets, but you also want to find like golf hitting net, golf practice net. So I'm going to show you how to do that, and then you can use keyword gaps by looking at your competitors. You can download your Google Search Console data if you want to include that. And then you cluster, you look at the intent, you start to build hubs, plan content, fix your menu and things like that. So I'm going to show you how to get this process going. Right, it looks like this. I've typed in GolfNet here in Ahrefs, and if I go to matching terms, we're going to have like 3,700 keywords. And like I said, it's phrase mats. So if I type in golf hitting net as well, it's going to bring in, we need to have this as a comma. So now I have a little bit more. It does bring them in. So let's just go to related terms. Golf hit. Right. I turned it around. So let's go back. So matching term is GolfNet. It does take in practice and hitting. So that's very good, but you can go into related terms and just copy things that make sense. Like you want to have plural things like that. This is just a process that you can go through. GolfNet for backyard and indoor, right? So you just want to find, you can go up to 10 and then to go back to matching terms. And now we have 4,200, a little bit more. And you can then use things like you can remove branded, you can remove local, but I just want to keep it like this. I would spend a little bit more time here, find more seed keywords, dig into things like probably open up the keywords and like I would open this up. I would go to matching terms and I would find more keywords with volume, add them to the search bar and just go through it. But once you have done all of that, you basically download the keywords, and you will end up with a list like this. So this has a lot of data. You're going to have, global volume, search features, all that. But what we are interested in is the keyword, the difficulty, and the volume. The CPC can also be very helpful. But the thing here is that if you're going to go through this, for example, has 800 keywords. I removed everything that didn't have search volume. It's kind of difficult to tell. Like, is GolfNet the main keyword? Is Golf Practice Net the main keyword? Do you create separate pages here? Golf Hitting Net and Golf Practice Net, are they like the same keyword? How do you optimize for all of these things? And if you have href, you can actually check out something called SERP Similarity Score. So if you go and look at the top 10 results, the thing that you want to do is just you want to see what Google thinks. Does Google think that this should be 2 separate pages or is like 1 page enough? And Ahrefs allows you to check that with their tool here. And when we compare these 2 keywords, like 67% of the results are the same thing. So this page also ranks here and this page ranks here. So in essence, it means that you can have 1 page and optimize for both keywords. And then you're going to rank for more keywords. Okay? So you can like repeat that. Golf Hitting Net as well. So let's check that. So same, we have a high similarity score, which means that all of these 3 keywords are the same keyword. They should be on the same page. You create 1 page and you optimize everything. But when you have like 800 keywords, you can't go through this process and just dig through everything. Like GolfNet for backyard, is that the same thing? Let's find out. So now we have just 30%. So we have this page not on the page, this page here and here, and this page down there, and then this one. So now it becomes a little bit more tricky. Like, do we create another page that gives us a higher chance of ranking for this keyword because it's different subject, it's a subcategory for GolfNets, or do we include it on the page? So that is what we're gonna do, and I like to use a tool called Keyword Insight that does keyword clustering. That does this process for us. It takes every keyword and compares it to another keyword and tells me this and this keyword, they have this amount of similarity. And we can in the settings, we can say like we want 30% to 40%. I like to go with 30% similarity. And what you actually end up with is something that looks like this. You get a sheet and it has done this process for you. So now we have GolfNet as the main keyword and a lot of different keywords that should belong on the page. Okay, so Golf Practice Net, Golf Hitting Net, even Golf Driving Net. So is Golf Driving Net something that you want to maybe have separate? Let's check that out as well. Maybe the tool is wrong. So if you were to create a separate page, you don't really need it because you can rank the GolfNet page for Golf Driving Net as well. That is what the data tells us. Okay, so now we have this page here, GolfNet, and all of these secondary keywords. You can have different sections, you can add content to it, add context. And you can then run through these clusters and you can start to build up a map of what you want to do. Like you now have GolfNet for garage, Golf Chipping Net, Golf Simulator Net, So you can just go through and find a lot of different page ideas and things like that. But what I like to do is I like to take this data and I like to bring in additional data from Href and from other places within the sheet. This one is quite good. Intent. It tells us if the keyword is transactional, people are looking to buy things. Same with commercial or informational. So you don't want to optimize your product and category pages for things that is just informational. So what you can do here really fast, you can download a lot of data, cluster it, bring in the intent, and now we can go and sort this data. Let me find the sort range. Then we go here and intent. Okay, so now we have the transactional keyword here at the top. And if you go down, you have a lot of information keyword. So the commercial ones, you can bring them back up. So you're now not like, this is a very good gross versus net golf. That's not a keyword we are interested in. Do-it-yourself golf net. You can just now go in and find topics to write for your blog really, really fast. And, obviously there are going to be things here that are not related to golf nets, and you can just delete them. And this allows you to really get into the data and find ideas and build out new pages. And this is what we did with the gift store. We downloaded a lot of gift ideas, keywords from Ireland. We took the competitor keywords, we took what they were ranking for, we clustered it, and within just a couple of days we had 250 new pages that need to be created. And within a few weeks they were ranking for a lot of different keywords. They were ranking for long-tailed keywords, and within a few months the main categories that were getting a lot of internal links started to rank for their main keywords. So imagine that you build out all the subcategories for GolfNet, you build out everything that you find in the sheet, and you then add content to it and internal link to the main collection. The main collection is going to start rank, if you do this correctly, within a few months. So that's really good. But another thing here is very interesting is that the search volume, you can see the keyword has 10,000 monthly visitors, or like people, there are 10,000 people that are searching for GolfNet in Google every month. But when you combine all the sub keywords or the secondary keywords, this number is 25,000. So you can use the data and you can compare, are we actually looking at a cluster with a higher volume than you might think? So you might look at indoor GolfNet as something that's not worth your time, but actually when you optimize for all the keywords within the cluster, which you can see here, you get the volume up to 1,500. So the volume is higher because you have hidden keywords that you might not find with just going through it manually. So I highly recommend going through this method and organizing your site this way, because it can really help bringing out more traffic, more revenue without actually spending resources on building links. And it really helps the visitors as well, because they're going to find long tail keywords or pages with long tail keywords that you have created for them, optimized the content, and they're going to be more inclined when they land on a page. That's a perfect fit for what they're looking for. So yeah, highly recommended. And you can even go and scrape data like what pages are ranking for which keyword. You can then scrape the revenue per page, and you can see if you have pages that might be ranking high with high revenue that you maybe can focus on to add these secondary keywords. So let's say that you're ranking for GolfNet for backyard, and it's ranking in the top 15, but it's getting traffic and it's getting sales. And then you can go in onto the page and you can start optimizing for all of these secondary keywords, and this can really, really help boost the traffic, boost the relevance, and yeah, so highly recommend. Now, I think you might want to be interested in the next step here is actually, so now you can we cannot take the product keywords because these are transactional. Okay, let's take them and sort them by, we're going to start column E by volume. Okay, so now we have done this. And what I like to do here is just go through the keywords and simply mark things that are not interested for me as an X, so I can remove them. And this is going to depend on what products you have, what brands do you have. Like this looks like a pretty cool keyword, professional gold practice net. I bet these are a little bit more expensive. I think the keyword difficulty only 2. It has less volume, but I bet these are a little bit more expensive if you want to get into it. So let's take a look. What do we have? We have absolutely zero competition for this. Like there's nothing here optimized for this keyword. So if you have the exact product, you have a high quality product that's like professional, you can rank for a keyword like this in a few days if you have the authority and you have a history of selling products. So this is just a fantastic way to find data like this. This is obviously in the UK. We're looking at the US here, and near me you can remove, so you can go through this and remove things that you don't like. You can also, if you're a retailer, you can do brand. So net return is a brand, and you can just type in brand, or you can have someone do this. So brand, and then once you've sorted everything, you can resort this so you have brands at the bottom. If you don't have the brand, you can try and reach out, get the brand, add them to your store. If you are a direct to consumer, you have your own products, you're like creating your own golf nets, then you can just remove the brands, or you can do more research and competitor research into the brands, see what they're doing, but then focus on the specific categories that you find here. So highly recommended.